I hereby confer upon you the honorary degree of Doctor of Public Service with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining. Congratulations, Dr. Moore.
I am truly, truly honored, and I'm grateful. I'm so thankful for this amazing honor. I'm so thankful for the work that you all do. I'm so thankful for the fact that, I have devoted my life and my time to the issue of poverty, to the scourge of poverty, to the fact that it is inhumane that we have a society that allows so many people to experience that trauma of poverty, and that we have not come up with more pathways, sustainable pathways for people to be able to leave. But the thing about today, which makes me so unbelievably empowered and encouraged, is there is no greater vehicle to be able to address this issue than the celebration that we are seeing today. The celebration of not just the level of hard work and determination, but also the celebration of how education is not a savior. Education will be the savior. Education will not be a pathway, education will be the pathway. And so by being here with you all to celebrate not just this accomplishment for you personally and for your families, but truthfully to be able to celebrate a larger societal accomplishment, I am truly humbled and honored. So thank you so much for allowing me to be here, and congratulations. I'm also humbled to be around so many other military vets. And to all of you, I say congratulations and a consistent thank you for everything that you continue to do. Since it is, I'd behoove me not to, since it is Army Navy Day, go Army. I'm just saying. We'll be friends tomorrow. But the thing is that I think when I think about both that population and all of our populations, when I can look out amongst this sea of fellow graduates, there's something that I know is that for all of you, this process, this journey was not an or journey. This was not a I can continue what I'm doing with my life or go on and become a distinguished graduate. This was not a I can put everything that I'm doing on pause or go on and complete my courses. For the vast majority of you here, this was an and. This was I'm going to continue advancing professionally and go on and get my degree. I'm going to continue leading my family and go on and finish my coursework. I'm going to continue serving my country in uniform throughout a variety of different mechanisms, whether it's uniforms of the armed forces or first responders, and go get my degree. And there's a power to the and. There's a power to the and because you all understand not just what sacrifice looks like, but you also understand what it means to have a central goal and to go after it. There were countless reasons every single day for you to stop. There were countless reasons and countless experiences that happened when sometimes it happens something with work, or sometimes something happens with the family, or sometimes just life gets in the way that you could have easily said, you know what? I've done good enough. I'm okay. I can stop. And you didn't. You all know what it feels like to wake up in the morning one day, and in many cases wake up in the morning on multiple days, and have to make a choice. Do I keep going or do I stop? And you chose to keep going. You chose to keep going. You sit here, and you're sitting here is a celebration of persistence. It's a celebration of excellence. It's a celebration of having a goal and having a dream and knowing that there is no plan B. And there's an extraordinary power and empowerment of that. You know, the truth is that I know when I came up oftentimes, I came up thinking about my life experiences, the things that I was dealing with as a child, or the things that I seen as a child, and I would look at them as deficiencies. The imposter syndrome, for all y'all studying psychology, which actually I found that is actually a real psychological term. I just thought it was something, I thought I made something up. They're like, no. Education started thousands of years before you showed up. But the imposter syndrome, right? This idea that everywhere you go, you feel like an imposter. Where everywhere you go, you're just waiting for someone to just tap you on the shoulder and say, what are you doing here? This idea that I looked at the fact that many of the students who I was around or the people who I was interacting with, they didn't have my past. They didn't have my background. I'd seen and experienced things that they would never had to have imagined, and they had seen and experienced things that I didn't even know I could dream about. And so I oftentimes looked at those various things as deficiencies, as reasons I couldn't compete. But eventually came to a greater understanding of something that you all have come to, which is so unbelievably powerful. This idea that everything you have fought through, every time you have had to make a choice, and your choice was to keep moving forward, that is not your deficiency, that is your armor. That's your preparation. That's the fact that you all understand that for each and every one of us, that the world does not revolve around us, but that the world does not move without us either. That full understanding that everything you are is your empowerment. That every room that you are there because you belong there. You are in no room because of someone's benevolence. You are in no room because of someone's kindness. You are in no room because of someone's social experiment. You are in no room because someone wants to sprinkle diversity into a room. You are in that room because you belong there, and because that room would be incomplete if you were not there. That's empowerment. An empowerment to know that your journey is not one that just should be honored, but that your journey is one that should be celebrated. Because you fought. You didn't quit. You didn't stop. When you had multiple reasons and at times that you could have, and people would have actually understood. You sitting here is you taking your rightful place on your throne. You sitting here is you taking your rightful place of leadership. You sitting here is taking your rightful seat with the gods. There was nothing easy about your journeys. But that doesn't mean that you are now here and that we just have to just say, well, job well done, and that it's over. What it actually means is this. You are more prepared, more armored up, and more ready for the battles of tomorrow than anybody else. It means that everything you will see from now on, you know it is conquerable. You know that there is never anything again that you will see in life that should ever make you flinch. That's gone. That's your power. And so as you think about this next stage, as you think about this next phase, do not look at that next stage with trepidation. Do not look at that next stage with fear. Do not look at that next stage with uncertainty. Look at that next stage ready. Look at that next stage empowered. Look at that next stage with your chins up and your chest out. Because the truth is, when I think about the journeys that all of us have done and the things that we have seen and the fact that you still stand here as conquerors, there is nobody who I'd rather have on my flanks than you. There is nobody who I'd rather have in this fight than you. And use that focus, use that space to be able to make a mark. You know, I'll close quickly. I was sent to military school when I was younger. I had some issues when I was younger. And, but our commandant of cadets, who was a colonel, and he was a 3-time Vietnam veteran, and this dude was as tough as nails. We laughed, say, I think we only saw him smile once. And I think that was an accident when we saw him smile. But he was fair and he loved us and we loved him back. But one day he called the entire Corps of Cadets together. And he called the entire Corps of Cadets together, and it was a Sunday night, which was odd because we never had formations on Sunday nights. But he called us all together to the chapel, and he said he wanted to talk to us. And so we all lined up in the chapel. We were all sitting in the pews, and he was standing up in the pulpit. And he was losing weight really quickly. You know, to the point that until we knew what was going on, we used to laugh and say that it looked like he was wearing his father's uniform. Until one day we realized why he was losing weight so quickly. And when he called the entire Corps of Cadets together, he told us that he was diagnosed with cancer and he couldn't fight it from the school anymore. And he had to leave. That was the last time we saw him. And so this speech that he gave to us that day was in essence his farewell address. But he said something that night that I will never forget. He said, when it's time for you to leave here, whether it's time for you to leave this school, whether it's time for you to leave your job, when it's time for you to leave your neighborhood, or when it's time for you to leave this planet, make sure that it mattered that you were ever even here. Make sure that it mattered that you were ever even here, because none of us are promised anything. We're not promised more days or more weeks or more years. You know, I've said before, no one's ever tapped me on the shoulder and said, hey, Wes, you've got 4,615 days left, so pace yourself. And nobody ever will, and the truth is I'm perfectly fine with that. And I'm at peace with that. So the thing that I do know is that while we're here, let's actually do something with it. While we're here, let's push. When you think about the journeys that you all have been through to sit on your thrones today, these were not deficiencies. These were not challenges that could not be overcome because you overcame them. This was your preparation. This is your armor. These are your weapons. Take them to every battle that you will take out later on. Take them with you to every single battle that you will see. And know that just like this one, because again, this was not an or conversation, this was an and conversation. Take them and conquer every battle here on out with the same level of determination and vigilance and courage that you've taken this one on. Because you are more than ready. Congratulations. God bless y'all. And thank you for everything you did.